Who remembers TSM? Now, who still watches TSM? Exactly. There's been a disappearance with this clan. Personally, I would watch TSM Myth and TSM Daequan every single day back in Fortnite Season 2, and I'm sure you guys can relate. But things have changed. Fortnite is now in Season 8. I haven't watched Myth, Daequan, or TSM in general for 8 months. Even if you still watch TSM, you can agree that something's different and that you don't feel the same way that you once did about your favorite streamers. What happened to the once biggest Fortnite clan on the planet? Why have their views went down? And what will happen to TSM in the future? All of this in today's episode of What Happened. Now, TSM was founded in 2009, and they started out as a professional League of Legends team. Throughout the years though, new games would release, and TSM would jump on a select few of them. For example, in 2015, TSM acquired a roster on CSGO and signed a Super Smash Bros. Player to their team. TSM was quietly making their way up the ranks by winning championships and just proving that they were a legit clan. It wasn't until 2017 that TSM would really start to rise as a top clan. The founder of TSM would have never imagined being as big as Optic or FaZe, but that was about to happen. On September 26, 2017, a free-to-play battle royale was released to PCs and consoles, and this game was Fortnite. Quickly after the release of Fortnite, people were talking and YouTube was changing. Every video was about this simple and free building game. With this game blowing up, TSM saw the opportunity and saw the talent of some of these players, so they took a risk that might not have paid off. January 2018, a young player by the name The Myth was turning heads everywhere. His building skills were amongst the best of the best. People at my school were talking about The Myth. People at McDonald's were talking about The Myth, and even people on the subway were talking about The Myth. Everybody knew about him. But there was one person who knew more about The Myth than anybody else did, and that was the founder of TSM. Myth was then recruited to TSM's Fortnite team. With Myth's popularity only growing, him joining TSM increased the team's popularity as well. In February, 3 more players joined the team to create the TSM squad. These players were Hamlins, Camille's, and Daequan. This God Squad helped TSM win both tournaments and the hearts of Fortnite fans all over the world. And this is where it all started. Aside from streaming on Twitch, the members of TSM would start to post videos to their YouTube channels. Myth and Hamlins would both upload full gameplays from their streams. Daequan would upload tutorials such as how to double pump, and Camille's would upload cool kills and specific stream highlights. But only 2 members out of the 4 would start to see crazy views and crazy subscribers on YouTube, and that was Daequan and Myth. Like we saw earlier, Myth was already making a name for himself even before he joined TSM, but he continued to grow even after joining the clan. Myth was growing insanely quick on every single social media platform because he was known as the fastest builder of Fortnite. If you would have asked 100 people in Season 2 who the fastest builder was, they either would have said it was them who was the fastest builder as a joke, or they would have said Myth. It was just that obvious. People loved TSM Myth because of the way he could build, but Daequan was different though. He wasn't known for being super good at building. He was the best at double pumping, so that's one of the main reasons he was growing so quickly. In today's video, we're going to look at what happened to Myth and Daequan, not Camille's and Hamlin's, because in my opinion, they were never big like the other 2 members were, and I never really watched them. Most people say all good things must come to an end, but for Myth and Daequan, it looked like there was never going to be an end to this. Dropping 500,000 plus views each video was amazing, and getting 10k plus viewers each stream wasn't a bad thing too. But eventually, it started to go down for both of them. Let's find out what happened. TSM Myth was regarded as the best builder in Season 2, and Ninja was regarded as the best overall player. The Ninja and Myth best player arguments would fill the school hallways. Throughout Season 3 through 7, we would see new players that would challenge Myth for the best player title. Players like Cypher PK, Daequan, Ninja, Tfue, and many more would start to challenge Myth. Myth was never really the most entertaining streamer by any means, so when people watched him, most of the time they watched him because he was good at Fortnite. Now this reminds me of FaZe Sway. He rarely talks in any of his videos, and he never really shows any type of personal connection to his viewers, so the only reason people watch him and subscribe to his channel is because he's the best controller player. Now this isn't good at all. Once Myth started to fall behind in the best player race, the people that once watched him because he was the best player weren't watching him anymore because he wasn't regarded as the best. FaZe Sway has recently been blowing up since his introduction to FaZe Clan, but seeing that he's in the same situation as Myth was a couple months ago, if anyone becomes better than him, we might expect to see his downfall too. TSM Myth, in my opinion, went downhill from a lack of personal connection to his viewers and a lack of skill within Fortnite. The reason he was on top was because he was the best player. But once he wasn't the best player anymore, nobody felt like they needed to subscribe to him. They weren't losing anything. They could just easily go watch someone who was better than him. But what happened to Daequan though? His story is the opposite of TSM Myth's. Daequan gained fame for his insane pumping skills, funny personality, and just being good at Fortnite. This is different from Myth's story, as Myth was simply popular because of his gameplay. Daequan had a personality that everybody loved, but what happened? In Season 3 and 4, Daequan would make random funny noises, such as
Oh, brother, I was just playing. Ooh, where you at?
And of course, we all know his world-famous saying,
Kind of funny.
"Come here, boy!"
Sorry, Christian.
Daequan was different than Myth in that sense. He made the viewers want to watch him. Regardless of how he was playing, people would want to watch him. People only wanted to watch Myth when he was playing well. Like I've mentioned, Daequan initially blew up from his double pump tutorials, and then from his skills while using double pump. He grew off of this until the 5.0 update, because in this update of Fortnite, they completely made it so you couldn't use double shotgun. Daequan's double pump skills and double pump tutorials that he uploaded were useless now. Everybody who watched him for that reason was out of luck. But here's the difference with Daequan. Those people who came for good double pump gameplay and good double pump tutorials might have enjoyed his personality well enough, or just thought he was good enough to watch him still. That's the thing that Myth struggled with. Some people didn't enjoy him enough to continue watching him even after he wasn't the best. Still, to this day, Daequan is annoying and funny like he's always been. His viewers have obviously went down, but most of his fans have stuck around because of his character. He still consistently gets over 500,000 views per video, which is good, but Myth, on the other hand, one day he could get 800,000 views on a video, but the next day he could get 100,000. It just depends on what he posts. The story of Myth and Daequan's downfalls are different, but there's one thing that links them both together, and that's the love of Fortnite. Fortnite was amazing to everybody in Seasons 1, 2, and 3. And remember, this is when TSM was really getting started. Myth and Daequan had plenty of viewers because of the fact that there were new people coming to this free game every single day. After these popular seasons, people were either quitting Fortnite or just not watching YouTube videos anymore. This is part of the reason for both of them. In the future, I can see Daequan being popular no matter what he does, just because of his character. But Myth, he might have to rely on a free game to blow up again, be loved by millions of people again, and he's gonna have to work even harder to secure the best player title. TSM as a clan hasn't fell off at all though. They're still a really good clan, but the Fortnite team isn't playing as well anymore. Myth and Daequan were definitely some of my favorite YouTubers to watch play the game, but through many reasons that I've stated in today's video, they haven't stayed as my favorites, and I'm sure you guys can relate with this video. Do you still watch TSM Myth? Do you still watch TSM Daequan? Let me know right now in the comments. This has been another episode of What Happened. If you guys enjoyed this video, consider subscribing.